Hi, this is Lee McQueen, and I'm signing in to talk about the phenomenon of the younger generation. We'll say I'm Generation X, and I'll say people younger than me, which is Generation Y and the Millennials. Um, this generation has actually taken quite a lot of hits this election season. But then they've been taking hits prior to this election season too. These younger people, these are the ones who have been sent overseas by the Obama administration, which also includes Hillary Clinton for some time and then John Kerry. These are the younger people who have been sent overseas to fight in wars for oil, wars for dominance, wars to whatever the war is for, if we even remember anymore. They've been fighting for Barack Obama's entire term in office, and there's no end in sight. It's been escalated. Afghanistan, we have troops there, troops in Syria, troops in Iraq, possibly, according to Hillary Clinton, we're going to have troops in Syria, troops in Iran. I mean, it's never ending. And this generation who is directly affected, either they are the ones who are fighting and losing their lives, or they are friends and family of people who are fighting and losing their lives, and they are seeing their friends and family return wounded, maimed, if they even do return, and then they also see their friends and family return from this fighting only to be sent back to fight some more, because someone needs to feel like king or queen of the world. So they're fighting for someone's ego. They're fighting for someone's oil. They are not fighting for freedom or justice, or to make the world a better place. They're fighting for greedy people, and they know it. They know what's happening. They know why they're going overseas and being killed. They know why they're losing limbs. They know why they're returning back home and their head's not right. They know that something is wrong, that they've seen too much, and they've experienced people not caring about them. And they're trying to get benefits or any advantages of having been a veteran and having served their country, only to be caught into a bureaucratic trap by the Veterans Administration, and really finding out that they're coming home to an economy where things aren't functioning. The job situation, even if they do have veteran status, where are the jobs in the first place in order to be first in line for? And so this is what's happening to the younger people. They are watching their parents struggle and not have enough money to send them to college. And so they say, well, work my way through college and I'll get 2, 3 jobs and maybe take one class at a time because that's all I can afford. And, without taking out a sizable loan and indebting myself and indenturing myself to the federal government, by taking out a loan so I can even get through school in 4 years. And then even if I do that, again, where are the jobs? I'm trying to make something of myself, and where are the tools that are normally there in society where I can actually be somebody and raise myself up out of this, morass, this economic morass. And they're not seeing this. And all this election season, they've been saying, well, I can make a change. I can make a change. I can use my civic voice and exercise my civic rights and amplify my voice at the ballot box, only to have their votes stolen by the secretaries of state or the voting machines or the Clinton campaign or the DNC or whoever's been stealing these votes. No one wants to take credit or responsibility. for it. Neither does anyone want to take credit or responsibility for the wars. No one wants to take credit or responsibility for the state of the environment. No one wants to take credit or responsibility for the economy. It's just some mysterious force like, well, it happened and this is what it is, and here you go, millennials, that's for you. And then there, and so all these issues that's been occurring specifically to the younger generation, of course, what happens to them happens to us because we care about them, but they are the ones directly affected. Also, with the Black Lives Matter, we've got people who have watched friends and family, again, be caught in a war at home with being harassed and stalked and hunted and killed by law enforcement who is actually supposed to protect and serve them. Instead, law enforcement hunts and kills them and then puts false charges on them, forces them to plea bargain, and then ships them off to be warehoused so corporate investors can make money off of them, like slavery, as in a time of slavery. And it is racially motivated. They know this. And so they form a group to protect themselves, just like the Black Panthers, and now there's this implication out that they're terrorists, like the Black Panthers. Black Lives Matter is a civic organization, a peaceful organization, and they're being attacked. And is anyone standing up for them? We have the NAACP hosting Hillary Clinton, and Hillary Clinton standing there like, you know what? If anyone kills a police officer, the full weight of the law is going to be brought down on them. And then I was waiting for her to say the words, and if any police officer kills an innocent Black victim who doesn't deserve to be killed, the full weight of law will be brought down on them. And she didn't say that. Apparently, police lives matter, which is the whole problem. That's what the Black Lives Matter has been saying. Apparently, the law only applies if a police officer is killed, not if an innocent Black victim is killed by a police officer. And the NAACP clapped their hands, I guess, and said, yay for Hillary, we're with her. And, the Congressional Black Caucus, yay for Hillary, we're with her. So these people, 45 years and younger, of all races, of all classes, of all genders, have looked at this older generation who's been sending them off to war, ruining the environment, crashing the economy, filling up the prisons with people like them, making it impossible for people to get jobs because of greed, corporate greed, forced downsizing and outsourcing and shipping of jobs overseas. And they said, we've had it. We've absolutely had it. And they said, you know what, Democrats, Republicans, whoever, we've had it. And they've made their exit. I had spoken before of the Democrat Party, of Hillary Clinton, and the way she and her campaign have behaved towards millennials. Hillary Clinton openly expressed contempt for the millennial generation. She said that they didn't do their research, that she felt sorry for them, she condescended to them. And then these millennials were treated like pariahs because they didn't support her. She treated them like, well, you're not really Democrats. Apparently, people who didn't support her campaign weren't really Democrats. A lot of them were independents, and she treated them with contempt. And so the younger people have been watching that. And then when Bernie Sanders endorsed this woman who has behaved like this, and they said that they had enough. That was all that they needed. As soon as the Democrat Party chose her as its standard bearer, and it seems like, well, she was pre-chosen, as the hackers showed us. I mean, they viewed all this, the collusion with the media, the collusion with the Democrat Party, the fix that was in, that they discovered the fix had already been in for Hillary Clinton from the beginning, that the voting was rigged, that there was foul play at the voting box, and that many of them were turned away and prevented from voting, even though they're citizens and of age, or their votes, were just trashed and thrown on the floor and not even counted. So they looked at all this and just said, we've had enough. And, I don't blame them. I do not. Some of them I have already announced on this channel. They made their exit, their DEMEXIT, on Juneteenth. Specifically, African Americans 45 and younger surveyed everything that they had seen, everything that they experienced at the hands of the Congressional Black Caucus, the NAACP, the treatment of themselves by law enforcement, and the fact that no one had stopped it. And apparently their lives didn't matter. They've watched people die. They've seen people die. They've experienced that trauma and that terror. And they've looked to the older generation to protect them, and nothing. And so they said, we're out of here. And then, they look at the cause of being Hillary Clinton and her advocacy of the 1994 crime bill, and the fact that she earned money off of their friends and family being in prison. Every time someone went to prison, Hillary Clinton earned money from them. And they look at that and they just feel nothing but disgust. And once Bernie Sanders endorsed her, that was all the signal that they needed. But some didn't even wait for that. Like I said, African Americans 45 years and younger who were Democrats made their exit already. They're already gone. They're gone. They left on Juneteenth. They chose that date to emancipate themselves. They're gone. They're not coming back. Not while Hillary Clinton is the nominee. They will not return. Other people, 45 years and younger, decided that Independence Day would be their DEMEXIT. They left. They have already changed their registrations. It's apparently July 19th. They left about 2 weeks ago. So for anyone's like, hey, wait, they are gone. They're gone. And then other people had planned to wait until after the convention. They said, well, we'll give it to after the convention to make our DEMEXIT, which is July 29th. But between Independence Day and then the convention, Bernie Sanders endorsed Hillary Clinton, and that was the final nail for some, and they made their exit right after Bernie Sanders endorsed Hillary Clinton. They just found her intolerable during the entire primary season, and they continue to find her presence intolerable. And then more, so it's already too late. They're gone. They've left. Any who are remaining, they will continue to watch this whole scenario, but the trend is away from the Democrat Party. People have been making their DEMEXIT all this, year, mostly. But then also, there's been a recent rush away from the Democrat Party in recent weeks. And so, whoever's angry about that, maybe you're not a millennial and you haven't walked in their shoes and you don't see what they've seen and you haven't experienced what they have experienced, and the way that they've been treated and dismissed and, taken advantage of. Jill Stein has done an excellent job. Well, Bernie Sanders actually did a really great job of outlining the troubles from within the Democrat Party. Jill Stein has stepped up and just said, the older generation is preying upon the younger generation. We've got older people behaving as predators upon the younger generation, enslaving them through debt slavery, creating disasters in the environment, basically sending them off to war so they can die overseas and maybe come back home broken people, sending them off to prison so they can be held and warehoused in prisons. This is the older generation that's doing this to the younger people. And the young people are saying, we've had enough. We're gone. We're going to go where our interests are represented. And they are not represented in the Democrat Party, as we have seen all this primary season. There was opportunity for the Democrat Party to realign and renew itself through Bernie Sanders, and they chose not to. They fought him every step of the way, and the younger generation saw all of that. Jill Stein is outside the Democrat Party. She's with the Green Party, and the Green Party has opened up its doors and said to these younger people, you are welcome, you are valued, your ideas are important, we want you to enter office with the Green Party. Here's what we can do for you. And they have taken her up on the offer. Some of them have registered independent. Quite a lot of them have registered Green. There's been an increase in registrations to the Green Party, an increase in social media hits, an increase in definitely in fundraising. There's been like 1,000-fold increase in Green Party fundraising, and it's being fueled by people who have exited the Democrat Party. And so it's what it is. You can't stop it. It's done. It's too late. People are trending away from the Democrat Party. And there is still down ballot voting to be done in some states, but the majority of voting has been done in the United States. And so there may be still some states where the primaries are closed. And so those who have made their DEMEXIT may or may not be able to vote. It depends on that state's rules. I know some members of some state parties, the Democrat Party, have made efforts to change their platforms or change their rules surrounding their voting procedures. And so I don't know if that'll apply to the rest of the voting this season or maybe the next round of voting. Hopefully it'll apply for the voting for the rest of the season. But that's, that's collateral damage. And as we've seen, the younger people knows what collateral damage is because they have been collateral damage. All that profit making that was made by CEOs of the baby boomer generation, people who wanted their investment packages and their 401ks and their pensions to be really fat and really lucrative so they could sail around the world. They did that by preying upon the hopes and the dreams of the younger generation. So the younger generation has been collateral damage, and they don't want to do that anymore. For those who are still in Democratic races down ballot, and you're concerned about so many people having exited the Democratic Party, people are doing what they can to survive and to save themselves and to represent their own best interests. Their interests, not your interests. A lot of the younger people have decided their best interest is with the Green Party and not the Democratic Party. And they don't want to have anything more to do with the Democratic Party. So, again, collateral damage. And I don't really blame these younger people. They have, unlike what Hillary Clinton said, they have done their research. They have thought long and hard about this. They looked ahead and said, well, if this happens, then I'm leaving. If this happens, then I'm leaving. And everyone's made their own decisions. And the Democratic Party made its decisions, and then the base of the party made its own decisions. And so the party is weakening from within. People are abandoning ship. And I wouldn't say that it's right to blame the Millennials, the Generation Y, and even Generation X from saving themselves and just saying, we cannot stay, we're not going to reform this party, we're going to leave this party. We're not going to try and change or reform our abusers. We're going to leave our abuser. And that's how we're going to heal ourselves and save our futures. So, Collateral Damage has worked on both sides. And the Green Party is a beneficiary. And that's just the way it is. I mean, this entire primary season, at every step, the Democratic Party had an opportunity to listen to what Bernie Sanders was telling them about what the younger generation needed, what was important to them, and they dismissed him and dismissed them and said, you know, who cares? Hillary, we're with her. We want Hillary, and now you have her. You have Hillary, and you're losing everything else. So I guess you won. And everyone just has to do what they have to do.